Welcome back. I'm Dewayne Cook, and here's what's cooking in sports. The new era of Florida Gator football began today as the Gators had their first spring practice. The Gators have about half a month to implement a new offensive and defensive playbook. The big battle everyone will be watching closely is the quarterback position between Will Greer and Treon Harris. If you're one of those people who like reading too much into things, Greer took the first snap in practice today. Now, the undefeated Florida Gators softball team hosted the undefeated LSU Tigers this weekend, so something had to give. Unfortunately for Florida, the Tigers came into Gainesville with their bats ablazing. On Friday night, the Gators won 4-3 on a walk-off wild pitch, but the Tigers evened the series Saturday when they won it 14-10, despite an 8 RBI performance from Florida's Taylor Fuller. So the series came down to one game on Sunday. In the rubber match, Florida held a 3-0 lead heading into the top of the fifth, but the Tiger bats roared to life again, putting up 2 runs, then 4, and then another 4 for good measure to take the series with a 10-3 win. Junior outfielder Kirsty Merritt believes the team isn't worried about dropping 2 games and knows they will bounce back well.
We'll be able to make our adjustments, be able to practice, work on the things that we weren't able to do well this weekend, and we'll come out, we'll adjust, and we'll get it back.
Merritt and the Gators will be on the road this weekend. They begin a 3-game series with top 10 ranked Alabama on Saturday. The Gator baseball team also started SEC play over the weekend, hosting the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee pitcher Brett Marks was fantastic on Friday night, throwing 8 innings of no-hit baseball before giving up a single to Dalton Guthrie in the bottom of the 9th. The Gators made it interesting, putting up 3 runs in that half inning, but they fell 6-3. Saturday and Sunday, the bats cooled off for the Vols, and the Gators took advantage of it, winning both games 8-3 and 9-4 respectively. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan was proud of how his team fought back after a tough first game.
To get no hit for 8 innings on Friday against a really good pitcher. And I think maybe the tone of the whole weekend was how we bounced back on Friday night.
The Gators will step out of SEC play on Tuesday as they host in-state rival Florida State before traveling to Oxford, Mississippi for a weekend series against the Ole Miss Rebels. Over on the hardwood, shockingly, the Kentucky Wildcats won the SEC basketball tournament. All jokes aside, the Wildcats sit at 34-0 heading into the NCAA tournament and have the luxury of being the #1 overall seed in the tournament. The 3 other 1 seeds in the tournament include the Villanova Wildcats, Duke Blue Devils, and Wisconsin Badgers. Villanova lost in the second round of the tourney last year to eventual champion UConn. Duke lost in the first round to Mercer as one of the larger upsets last year, and Wisconsin made it to the Final Four where they lost to Kentucky. Also of note, 4 other SEC teams not named Kentucky made it to the big dance. Arkansas will be a 5 seed in the West bracket. Ole Miss has to play their way in as an 11 seed against BYU. LSU is the 9 seed in the East, playing NC State, and Georgia is also in the East as a 10 seed, playing 7th seeded Michigan State. Now, guys, over in the NFL, former Florida quarterback Tim Tebow actually worked out for the Philadelphia Eagles today.
He'd actually be an interesting fit in Chip Kelly's spread-style offense.
I agree.
We'll just have to see if the Eagles sign him or not. Thank you, Dewayne. And one last look at the weather forecast after the break. Stay with us.